Um, it's currently about 4:25 in the morning. I am watching The Spirit. I started watching this thing at 2:30 in the morning. And I want to kill myself. Hey everyone, and welcome to my review for The Spirit. As you can tell, I'm not in the spirit. Where do I start? Let me start with the fact that I started watching this at 2:30 in the morning. And it was so bad that I finally finished this at like 6 in the morning. I don't know how I did it, but I made it. And it is 6 on the dot. So it took me between 3.5, 4 hours to actually finish this movie. And this movie was an hour and 40 minutes. I have never taken that long. The last time I remember taking that long was I watched Blair Witch 2, which was like an hour and a half long. It took me 2 hours to finish that. The Oogie Loves, that was like an hour and a half. That took me like 2 hours to do. But a movie that is an hour and 40 minutes has never taken me almost 4 hours to watch completely. So this is a new. And I hated every bit of this movie. So this movie is directed by Frank Miller, who has written like 300, Watchmen, The Dark Knight Returns. And this is his first stab at directing. And hopefully his last. I'm not kidding. I hope he never directs another movie again. This is based off of a comic series of the same name that Miller did not write, but this has the style of Sin City all over it. And Sin City had came out about a year or two before this. So, but Sin City was directed by Robert Rodriguez, where this was Frank Miller. Sin City was also written by Frank Miller. A very good movie. I still haven't seen the second one. But Frank Miller said, well, he pulled a Stephen King. If you want to do it right, you better do it yourself, where Stephen King directed Maximum Overdrive. Again, another stupid movie. This is no exception. So, this movie, The Spirit, is a cop who was killed in the line of duty and was basically injected with a formula by the octopus, played by Samuel L. Jackson. But, oh my God, I really hated this movie. This movie gave me almost a migraine after I watched it. It wasn't as bad as the migraine I got after watching the Oogie Loves, but oh my God, this movie just sucks. I paused it so many times. There were times where I paused it for 10 minutes, and then 10 seconds later, when I played it again, I had to pause it again because something more stupid just happened. I took so many videos of myself pausing it and watching it because it was so unbelievable. It's now currently 4:33, and I want to cry. I want to cry. This was a train wreck. This was a pain to get through. But he gets injected by the octopus, which then he's able to resurrect and basically become almost immortal. He basically is the spirit of the town they're in. I don't remember the town, but I think it was a stupid name, like Nilbog. But so he's kind of like the protector of the town, or the spirit of the town. He, when he was a kid, when he was around like a teenager, he had this girl, named I think it was named Sand, not Sam. I think Sand, like the grain of sand. They did kind of have fall in love. Her dad was also a cop, and he also wanted to be a cop when he grew up. But her dad was killed in line of duty. Then immediately after he died, she's at the crime scene, and as they're walking away, a reporter comes up to them and asks them, "Hey, are you two kids scared?" To then she like shouts in the recording, "I hate cops." And then they get into an argument, and just basically said, "Why did you say that?" "Well, because it's true, you know. I don't want to be here anymore. I want jewelry. I want sports cars." And I'm like, wow, you are just so unlikable. So then she leaves, and she then grows up to be Eva Mendes, which again doesn't help the movie at all. The movie thinks it does, but it doesn't. So he basically has to stop the octopus and his assistant, who's Scarlett Johansson, from basically getting a I think they said it was Hercules' blood, so that they can mix him in with their chemical to make the octopus immortal. And how Eva Mendes gets roped back into it is she's a con artist, basically kind of like Indiana Jones, but without the charm and the love and care for the piece. They just want, there's even a part where she comes back and she talks to a contractor, and that whole scene made no sense. It was like an interrogation scene that was like, what is going on? She full on sits on his printer and prints a picture of her own butt and basically says, "Don't be an ass of yourself." That's not even funny, and why did you do that? That made no sense. Just stop. But she doesn't. She then goes up to all of his artifacts and goes like, "The reason why I'm back in this stupid town is I want something every woman wants. I want to touch it, want to feel it." And at this point, I'm thinking, what is happening? I lost so much sanity watching this movie. It's not even funny. So then she then puts a gun. It was like an old Western Magnum gun. I'll tell you why. I said exactly what it was. Puts it down on his table, and then when they leave, the contractor commits suicide.
Why?
And the other thing too, this contractor had like no security cameras. To then when the cops show up and the spirits show up, they're like, we don't know who did this, but there was a person outside that said it was her. And it was like, if you had security cameras, you can do this a lot easier. Oh, wait, forgot. This movie doesn't like logic, or doesn't like writing, or thought. To then the spirit then visits her, and she, when he arrives, she's in a towel. And she goes, who are you? Are you a cop? To then he pulls up handcuffs and goes, you're under arrest, so I need your hands on your head. And she goes, are you sure you want that to happen? And he goes, yeah, just do it. And she goes, if you say so. And drops her towel. Now she's fully naked. And he goes, all right, put a robe on. He's like, yes, sir. And then she says, like, I've never killed anyone. Like, I didn't kill that guy. I haven't shot anyone in days. What? She hasn't shot anyone in days? And they just, like, zoom on past that. They never bring that back up again. So, through the course of the movie, you're like, okay, she needs to be arrested. Even if she didn't kill, she's, stealing artifacts. She just admitted right then and there that she shot people. And then they just like, I don't get it. Everyone in this movie is stupid. Everyone is stupid. And also, the spirit is a creep. He's a full-on creep. Forget saving the city. This guy needs to be on How to Catch a Predator. 51 minutes into the movie. And the only evidence that Eva Mendez's character left was a printed picture of her butt. And now the spirit has collected it, and he's going around people and asking them, have you seen this butt before? Look at this guy. What a creep. He jumps from sand. Then he goes to this woman named Helen, who's a medic that works at the police station. He's the commissioner's daughter, who's played by Sarah Paulson, if you've ever seen like American Horror Story or Run, which is a very good movie on Hulu. And she full on says to the spirit right in his face, you're in love with every woman you encounter. And then when a new rookie comes in, which, of course, I also have to bring up that almost every woman in this movie is like half dressed. So of course this rookie's kind of wearing like a big like onesie. I'm just going, yeah. Cops don't wear that. That's not. I don't think that's at the precinct. But then he full on like kisses her hand, and then immediately Ellen gets jealous. And I'm just like, you full on said he's in love with every woman he meets. So he's a creep. And why are you feeling this way? You just said, oh my God, everyone's an idiot. And I should also bring up the experiments that the octopus does. There's a experiment where he combines a foot and then the head of one of his henchmen, so it full on looks like a rejected a rejected experiment from Mars Attacks, and it's jumping around all over the place, and then it falls in the blender, and he just blends it. There's another part where they have a kitten named Muffin, and then they inject the serum with water, and then the cat drinks the water, and then it just disintegrates. To then what's left are just two eyeballs. It's 5:33. I've completely lost my mind. I am an hour and 11 minutes in. I have about 30 minutes left to go. And they disintegrated a cat. I'm done. This movie is so stupid. There are times when I was like slapping my forehead. Like there's a part where the spirit he's going to check out the contractor's suicide. But he's on the way. He then stops a thief really easy because the thief is stupid. And he full on like has his arm out and his fist out, and the thief just runs right into this fist, and he just like catches it, and then he gives it back to the guy, and the guy says, "Marry me," and then the spirit says, "Just doing my job, sir." This movie sucks. To then, he then gets stopped by reporters and says like every child admires you, every woman admires you. What do you have to say to the kids? And then he goes like this. Well, what I want to tell the kids is just be yourself and always brush your teeth. And he looks straight at the camera. There's times during the movie where he's looking off and then full on looks at the camera. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like back off. So this movie sucks. I'm never watching this movie again. It was at a terrible until I got to the climax. When they wanted you to think that, oh, sand is now good, used for the greater good. No! I'm not giving her a pass. She's terrible. And then the octopus gets blown up, and then the smoke creates like a huge like cloud that then starts having octopus arms. Like in the cloud. I'm just going, you have no shame. You just got no shame. This movie sucks a lot. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's now on that chart. This wasn't terrible. Then when it got to the climax, this went to an unwatchable. I'm never going to see this movie again. I think if you even paid me a lot to watch this, I still wouldn't watch it. This movie sucks a lot. I'm not going to watch this movie ever again. This movie needs to be like The Spirit. It needs to die. Anyway, so that's my long extended review for The Spirit. Usually I want to keep these things short time, but this movie was so bad I had to talk about it. So there you go. So there's my review for The Spirit, and thank you for watching. Let me know what movies you want me to review down in the comments. Hope you like the review, and I'll see you next time.